red leather, yellow leather.
Right.
right. Hey, do it 5 times fast.
I don't
Go.
think I could. Red leather, yellow leather, red leather, yellow leather,
red leather, yellow leather,
Okay.
red leather, yellow
I'm
leather.
done.
Raul, try it. Say it.
Man, I have trouble speaking normal.
Come
I know
on.
I'm not going to get that right.
Come on, you got it. Just say it.
What am I saying?
Red leather, yellow leather.
Red leather,
Yeah, red leather.
Nailed it. He
Fuck,
nailed it.
He got it. Nailed it.
Hey, welcome back, Raul. We had Will coming in off the bench last week. He did a good job.
He
but
did a
we're happy to
phenomenal
have you
job.
back.
Yeah, hey, y'all don't lie. Y'all don't got to lie, man.
He did a.
He was sufficient.
Yeah. Will was.
He was on that bus.
Yeah. Yeah. Listen, he tried. I don't think we were like. I don't think he wasn't ready for us, and I think that's really what it speaks to. He was just not ready for us.
Too
Like-
much energy or what?
Well, yeah, I think he was just a little. He wanted to be really good, and he wanted to fill the shoes. These are big shoes he's got to fill.
He wasn't used to filling Raul's shoes.
That's
So
that's what I'm
yeah,
saying.
okay.
That's what I'm talking about. But he did a great job, and we definitely appreciate everything he put into it. But I will say, he's no Raul. I'm
Right,
just
right.
saying.
Well, that's why we didn't give him a mic.
Let's go. Yeah, I know, right?
I agree.
Yeah.
No,
He started speaking. We're like, no, just
no. Can
dump
we not?
yourself.
Can you not get a mic,
Mute.
please?
Yeah, reached over and unplugged his mic.
Don't plug that, please.
So
We're kidding. Love you,
No,
Will.
I know. Love you, Will. Just
cheers
Jake-
to Will.
JK
Cheers to
not-
Raul being back.
yeah, JK, not JK. Yeah, you'll never know.
Hey, James, I appreciate the hand emojis last week, man. Thank you very much.
Yes. Hey, I see it worked. Yeah.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah.
There it is.
So we're here with the Grabbing the Brisket podcast. We got a wonderful interview planned with you coming up here shortly with Greg Rempe with the BBQ Central Show. And I don't know if it's much as of an interview, we're interviewing him or he's interviewing us. I think it's going to be back and forth type deal. So
Okay.
I'm interested.
Jesus, you know how I am. Like I'm really good at giving the interview. I'm never good at getting the interview.
He's going to, Jan,
Freeze.
what is your favorite meal to...
It's like, hey,
Have on a
hey,
Tuesday
it's
between
that,
noon and 3.
Quick, name a woman. I don't know, right? I don't know.
Just freeze.
That's
just
gonna
like,
be it, right? Hey, 5 + 5. Yeah, don't know.
What did he say last time? Spaghetti or no?
Something ridiculous.
I said I'll make my
Favorite
own.
meal? It was like,
I'll make my own.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? By the way, that's the honest answer. That was honest.
Mm-hmm.
I make my own meal. You know what? My meal is give me a stove, let me do it myself. That's the meal I want to eat. I want to eat my cooking.
I'm sure they would do that for you.
I should.
What about last meal? Have we ever discussed that last meal? Death row last
Yeah.
meal or whatever? What
That was the question asked.
I thought that
Okay.
was the question.
was that the question
Yeah.
that was
That
asked?
was, yeah.
Everybody wants
My own
steak,
cooking.
potato. I was like, the meal I make. I want the meal that I cook. Is that wrong?
No, it doesn't. Are you just at that point in time? Are you just trying to prolong your execution
Right,
because
right.
you're like, guys, this takes 24 hours for
Right.
me to
Yeah,
prepare.
I want to cook a whole steer.
It takes 3 days to make the dough.
That's
I'm
just to
saying.
prepare the dough.
Right.
Right.
Now we got to fly to Italy.
I don't think it goes that. They're like, listen, look over there. Clink. Okay, he's been juiced. He'll never remember anything. He's about
Right.
to die.
Here's Papa John's. Thank you. Yeah.
Right. Ugh. Papa John's.
Not good. We eat that a lot, but it's not good.
Do you eat it?
A lot.
I've not had Papa John's in, well, maybe I want to go to your house.
Maybe.
It's
Probably.
weird. Super
Probably.
weird. Look, cheers, fellas. Here's to another week of awesomeness. Chain hands over here. Boom, John. Cheers, man. Seriously. Guys, I feel like it's weird to go through this motion each week and you know, honestly, we put a lot of effort into this and it's not just we're winging it, right? I know it feels like we're winging
Sometimes it feels like we're
it.
winging
But
it.
we're not, right? We
A
come
lot
in
of work
here.
going in to make it.
It
People
is.
feel like that.
There's a lot of work goes in the studio, and I want you to know that Grabbing the Brisket is here day in and day out, striving to make the best damn podcast there is. And obviously, we've got the Pearland. We have the Pearland Podcast Studios helping us out, right? Just killing it. How would I say that? The Charlie Mike Studios.
Yeah, you said it perfect.
Yeah. So, obviously they're doing their part in setting everything up. And,
Raul and his assistant Will.
Yep. And his assistant are making it possible. But on our part, I don't want you to think we show up with alcohol and just start getting on the mic.
That's exactly what we do, but
Okay.
it's fine. I think
Okay.
it's okay.
I think they know that, right? Yeah. Yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Boom.
Yeah. was thinking the other day, you always hear these, and this is very cliche podcast material right here, where they throw these hypotheticals out on whether you could do this versus this or whatever. So I'll give you one.
Yeah.
And it's just like, would you fight? Let me think. Okay, John.
Would you rather?
Yeah. Would you rather? Would you rather, John? Would you rather fight Jan right now? Fight one grown adult Jan versus maybe 10 junior high Jans. What
I don't know how big junior high Jan was.
What do you think your odds are?
How big is the junior high Jan?
5'8", 5'9". Probably 5'8", 5'7", somewhere in there.
I don't know. Jan's probably a bad example because I feel like junior high Jan would not be easily intimidated.
What about 100 middle school Jans?
That's younger? That's like a little
fourth
bit older
grade.
than
Nobody's fighting
Maddox's
100
age.
grade.
Nobody's fighting 100 of anything.
Right.
Like,
I was going to say, that's not good.
do I
either.
take one ass whooping or take 100 ass whoopings? No, I'll take one, please. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, I heard it on, I think it was like, what was it, Two Bears, One Cave, or was that with the podcast with Bert Kreischer? And
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is.
yeah, and one of the things is like, okay, could you, basically they went through this, and it's not similar, but it's kind of similar, but they went through this whole thing. It's like trying to like, what animals could you just bare hand like fight and kill? And they just like, could you fight a cat? Could you kill a cat barehanded?
I'd kill a cat.
Yeah, and then he goes into like a dog, and like they name a specific breed of dog.
I mean, I could kill a dog, but I don't want to kill a dog.
Right. A deer, and I don't know how I got off on this little tangent here or whatever, but I don't know, that popped in my brain, so I was like, oh, hey.
Yeah, I was just saying that like middle school, junior high, like most middle school John sees another middle school John get his face caved in. Other middle school Johns can be like, nah, fuck it, I'm out. I feel like you cave in middle school Jan's face, and the other one's like, I don't give a shit.
Crazy.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Just crazy.
Like, let's
rabid.
go. Like, so at that
Just-
point, you might as well fight adult Jan as opposed to however many.
You got a rabid middle schooler?
Yes, exactly what I'm
right.
thinking here.
Yeah.
Yeah. I watched a
Foaming
video.
at the mouth.
Watched a video, and it's just, I guess, the sad state of our generation, not our generation, but our younger generation coming up. But I watched a video of Emma showed me a snap that was floating around her school, this fight that went on in the kids' bathroom. And it's just like, this kid's just getting his ass beat. And I mean, the kid that's doing the ass beating, I mean, they show a mugshot later on in the snap because he got arrested or he got taken off or whatever. But I was like, what are you guys doing? And I mean, just snapping everything, like just, hey, there it is.
Yeah.
Fight. I'm like, oh my goodness.
That should be like a. I feel like that should be like a code. You know what I mean? Like when you're a kid. Like when you're a kid, it's not about getting the video. It's more like, hey, no videos, nobody gets in trouble. We got you.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Nothing's like that anymore.
That's what we had growing up. Nobody they said, look, snitches get stitches. We don't talk about it. Nobody saw anything, right?
We also didn't hide in the bathroom to fight. We could just.
Yeah, I'm just saying if you did,
Usually
right?
it's an after school thing.
If you did it, there was no 15 million videos. And I think that's the difference, right? It's like we wanted to be.
Could you imagine back then?
Yeah, right. You know, some
camcorders.
No, I just think that that's the difference between this generation and that. This generation wants to put it online.
Oh, for sure. For clout.
Our generation was like, don't tell anybody.
Right.
And I think there's something there, right? I think that's a nuance that people don't really talk about it. Yeah, I get people talk the fact that we didn't have cameras or we didn't have whatever. There were surveillance cameras. We had like you did shit, you could get caught, right? Like there was cameras on buses when I was a kid. Like there was stuff, but I'm just saying it wasn't easy. But nobody pulled their phones out to go, hey, let me video this shit. They were like, nah, man, hey, let's keep it down. We all know what happened. The word of mouth could spread so quick. It was unreal. That's how it was. It was infamous at that point. See the video and you're like, first of all, I could tell a really good story.
Right. So much better. It was
So much better than the
better.
video. It's like, the video didn't do it justice. Because let me get a hold of this. I will make this thing so good. It's unreal, you know?
Right.
I don't
did
know.
a flying jump kick
Yeah.
and blah, blah, blah.
This dude did a backflip at one point. Like, you see the video? kid's on his back getting beat up. We're like, oh, okay, he didn't do a backflip. He got knocked the fuck out, right? I mean, I'm just saying there was a nuance to that. Now it's just sad.
Yeah.
Just super sad.
The art of the storyteller is gone.
Yeah,
It's just
right?
gone.
Can we talk? Can we just go on with that sadness and just I don't think I got into it last week. I think no, I did not. I had my office annually chili cook-off, and man, I'm just bummed out. I'm pretty sad about it.
You sound salty. That's what you sound right
I am
now.
salty.
Like, why don't you be salty?
okay, I am.
Don't give me Mr. Rogers.
let me give
Why
you
don't you come in like a fucking hurricane? Tell us what do you think?
Yeah, I was just trying to build up the tension there a little bit. But let me get a shout out to Carlos. Carlos at work, he got second place in the chili competition.
What was your team name?
My team,
Theirs.
I don't know what his was.
Jesus. Okay.
Yeah,
what was yours?
Mine was fantastic chili.
You want a fantastic chili?
That's really good.
And we dress up like we got our sports gear
Fantastic
on and stuff
Four?
like that. So no, we're fans. It's not about
Who
the
thought
team
of the name?
It's not about the team name.
Well, I'm pretty sure it has to do with the team name. Who thought of the name?
I did like freaking 15 years ago.
Oh God, you're still running the same thing from 20 years ago?
Yeah, with the chili heads. Or
Anyways,
the,
so how'd your chili
Anyways,
go?
let me get to this story.
Okay. Yeah, the red hot chili heads would have been better.
Yeah, well, okay, great. I'll put that up next year, Jan.
Okay.
Maybe that's why we lost because of our stupid team name.
A fantastic chili. Hey, okay, Greg, sign on board with. And I get it. I understand why you're doing what you're doing. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I did it because it was easy,
Yeah.
and I don't have to do a skit and the theme's easy because I can just bust out my jersey and we're done. Hey, everybody, wear your sports gear. Done. Anyways,
Oh man,
it's not about
Okay.
the actual team name.
bare minimum.
Bare minimum.
I get it. I get it. Okay,
Maybe that's a good team name.
the bare minimum.
Bare minimum chili. You guys all dress up
I
like
love
bears.
that, dude. That's a great idea. Everybody go. "Roar, blah, 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 blah." You know what I mean? Something.
I love that.
It's very good.
It's very good.
Yeah.
Just keep using the word bear every time you get a chance. That'd be phenomenal.
That does sound great, but I've already embarrassed myself enough
Did you embarrass yourself or embarrass
throughout the years
You know what I mean?
of dressing up and doing skits and not winning. So now I'm like done with that. Okay, but now we moved on to chili.
Next year we're taking off. We're gonna watch this chili cook-off.
Yeah, you're
we're
not
gonna
invited.
No, we'll show
It's
up.
employees only. You're not invited.
Let's get a job there like 2 weeks
Done.
before.
Yeah, right. Hey, we'll just go. We're sweeping trash today, right? I don't give a shit. I'll
by the
take
way,
vacation for this.
Turn in my 2-week notice here after this thing.
After the cook-off. You know what? This job sucks.
Okay, so we'll get into it. I mean, it's my basics. It's my same chili recipe that I've been pumping out
running
for
with, yeah.
a while.
Been running.
We've won several major like big time cook-offs using this thing, and so I roll it out there, dude. I made like 6 gallons of this thing. You know what I mean? Like, because they tell you, like, because the whole company just comes and
Hundreds of people.
Everybody gets
right?
samples and all that stuff like that. I'm like, great. Whipped it up, got it done, tasted it, tweaked it, boom, perfect. People's like, hey, can I try some? Here you go. That's amazing. I like that. That's good. And they would leave and they would go off and find somebody else. And minutes later, somebody was like, hey, so-and-so and said I need to come over and try your chili. I'm like, oh, great. Boom, here you go. And then that turned into so-and-so and so-and-so. And then the word got out, like, you need to go try James's chili.
Yeah.
And so
Not your chili, your team's chili.
Correct. Yes. Yeah, I'm taking all the accolades.
Yeah, I know.
It's my team's.
Yeah.
My bad. It's we, not me.
we.
And so just everybody's like, you got this. This is hands down. I've tried everybody's here. This is hands down the best chili. And I'm like,
Oh, you
I
hate
can't
when
get-
they say shit.
I've
like
heard
that.
this before. Hey guys,
I have
I've heard this before.
Can't get my hopes up. I got that little ticket, and I'm like, okay. I'm sitting down, just boom, in my chair, just waiting. Got the vice president of the company's up there, just going through his little speech or whatever, and then he starts calling off whatever gets to down to the first place chili. And I was like, I hadn't gotten number 2 or number 3, so I'm like,
Got to be number 1.
got to be number 1, right?
Yeah.
I'm getting like pats on the back right before the awards. You got, I'm like,
Get it, boy. Get up there. Hey, go get your money.
yeah.
Yeah. No, I've
Man.
been there.
All of a sudden, they call it out. Was not my ticket.
Bow, bow, bow.
Done. And I was like, you know
What place you get?
I don't know. They didn't post the results. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to say 4th place, but so
How many teams?
I think there's probably about 16 teams.
Okay.
16.
16.
Jesus, James.
Yeah. So I tried, and this is only this is the reason why I'm like, okay, something's not off or whatever. I tried Carlos. Shout out to Carlos. I tried his chili.
Yeah.
He threw a little secret ingredient in there. He threw a little cinnamon sugar. I don't know if I'm supposed to be putting that out there, Carlos, but he threw a little cinnamon sugar in his chili.
Say it a few more times.
Yeah.
And
Cinnamon sugar.
I tried it, and I was like,
Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
that's good. Because he invited me to try. I was like, that's good, but what is that? That's a little sweet. And I was like, what is that? That's like cinnamon or he's like, yeah, put some cinnamon sugar in there. I'm like, oh, okay. I was like, I mean, it wasn't really my cup of tea.
That's
but
not your chili, but you didn't make it.
correct.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah.
But obviously the judges, that's what they liked. And so he got it. And then
It was unique.
supposedly number one was sweet as well. Kind of like
chocolate.
a Cincinnati style chili,
That sounds horrible.
you know?
Cincinnati.
Chocolate, that's kind of popular in Chile, though, right?
So it is, yeah. A chocolate habanero, or a chocolate reaper, or chocolate. Yeah, you can do some really fun things. And hell, we got beat by one of those in our fire. We did a fire. It was the fire. It benefited the fire department, whatever else. We did one at Backfish a few years ago. The chocolate.
That was a white chicken
So
chili.
the white chicken chili got first. The second one was the chocolate
one,
and
yeah.
whatever else. We obviously got our names called though. So
Right.
I'm just saying. We got on the podium.
Right. We had best pairing.
Best pairing. That's right.
And that was we were actually the only one that actually got judged and wasn't just like a popularity contest. You know what I mean?
We were.
Yeah. So not a big deal.
Not a big deal. Just winner.
It is what it is.
Winner chicken dinner. Got a plaque.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. R.I.P. Backfish.
R.I.P. They went out of business, man. They had some good beers. A few, right? But I don't know what their deal was. Like they just
I seem like they were always busy when I rolled by, but I don't know. I don't know. Guess not enough. I don't know.
that's the deal. It's like you can be busy as a bar, but you're not busy selling your beer like in stores. Like that's what they're trying to sell their shit in stores, and we're out there. No, this is great. We're here, you know.
Right. Yeah, I'm sure, and that's a
30 people.
pretty good location too.
Right.
So I'm sure it wasn't. I'm sure the overhead was something. Anyways, that's not what we're here to talk about. I'm sorry about your chili. Fourth place is still okay. Fourth place is good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
it's
you
like
did well.
fourth place 2 years in a row.
Damn, that sucks, man.
Yeah.
Well, next time you know,
Jan's face, his looks of disappointment when you said the fourth place.
yeah,
You got to see that. That
it
was
hits.
good.
Yeah. Sorry, James.
Maybe that should be my new team name, just the fourth place.
Fourth place chili.
chili.
Yeah,
Yeah. I mean, if you don't want to do the bear thing, I guess. Yeah.
yeah. The bear thing is great, right? I think that's the one you go with.
Yeah, but they do a cool thing. So a couple teams go all out. They're obviously like, we're not here to cook chili. So they do a competition where it's like first through third for chili. First you get 3 days off. Second you get 2.
Yeah, one.
They do a showmanship as well. And so if you do a skit, some type of skit, then you get judged on that. So you can win vacation days just doing skits.
Dude, you should have Back to the Future skit. Somebody, because I was like Doc, right? Great Scots, right? You could do such a great episode. Build your own cardboard little thing. Put some CO2 out there, right? Dude, you could do this. You could win everything, James.
Yeah.
You could.
They did a whole like kind of presidential debate where they had a guy playing Donald Trump, Joe Biden, Bernie Sanders, and Sarah
Crazy
Palin.
Sanders, yeah.
Yeah, they're the ones that won it. They had all the interactions with the judges and the crowd or whatever. But hey, congrats to them. Next year, So 1 year I did Dog the Bounty Hunter, where I dressed up as Dog, and then one of my coworkers dressed up as Beth, and I kept running around. I just had the giant
Dressed up
just
as Beth.
boobs, yeah.
Whoa, wait a minute.
Why'd you put your hands like that?
You can't. Hey,
Because they were that
Yeah.
big.
Nope.
Yeah.
Okay.
God, what was the catchphrase Dog used to say all the time? Like just talking about ice.
gotcha, sucker. I don't know.
Something about ice or meth or whatever in Hawaii or something. I don't remember what it was, but I know I ran around and my buddy, our neighbor Mark that lived next door to us, he was a HPD officer, and so he had all this like vest and like SWAT like gear or whatever. I'm like, dude, I had like a a vest on. I had an actual like HPD badge.
Yeah, you got his badge.
He let me
Jesus
borrow so
Christ,
much.
dude. You're like,
I got pulled over. I was like, nah, it's okay, man. I'm on the job.
I'm on a job, motherfucker. Keep moving. Yeah, nah, man, that's actually pretty cool, actually. I would have taken advantage of that. I done went to the gas station. I went to a lot of different places. Pull over, man. Hey, you know what I mean? Like, there's a reason why I'm not a cop. So I'd be doing some.
I watched that one viral.
That's my weed. Get
Yeah.
out of here.
I watched that one viral clip with this cop pulled this lady over and she was speeding, or maybe she ran a stop sign. And he's like, all right, I got license, registration, got it back. And he's all right, I'm going to go back to the car, run your license, comes back. He's writing it down. And the lady's like, I thought you didn't give tickets to pretty girls. And he's like, I don't, ma'am.
I don't.
Just like, have a nice day.
Like she wasn't that pretty.
Yeah, no, I get it. I understand what that means. Yeah, super hilarious. Super hilarious.
All right.
Yeah. Are we talking barbecue today or? just your-
Hey, my briskets, I did the pastrami ones.
Yeah.
Quick shout out, Smoking Pope's Q. He's the one who gave me the recipe.
Turn your mic a little bit. Yeah, let's get you in the game a little bit. Jesus.
Anyways,
Yeah.
are you good? You
No, I'm fine.
Yeah, anyways, they came out amazing.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to give that dude a shout out, Smoking Pope.
So it's his recipe.
yeah,
You
I'm not
pulled
sure
down?
where he got it. He sent it to me though, and I ran with it.
Okay. Can you kind of describe a little bit? And obviously, you want to give a recipe out, whatever else. Can you?
No, I'm gonna put the recipe out there. Yeah, I got some pictures. I got some videos. It's probably already out there by the time you all are hearing this. but-
So it's which you're dedicated. This is not for the faint of heart. Like this is something.
no, this is an
every
event.
single day,
Yes.
right?
10
So-
days, and I did 3 of them. So 10 days of going out to the fridge in the garage and pulling out these 3 Cambros, setting them out on the freezer, flipping them, putting them back in every day for 10 days.
Yeah.
But the brine was. I mean, that's really what it's all about. Really, with the pastrami's is the brine, and it was killer. It was really good.
Was it red all the way through?
Oh yeah,
Yeah. So it had that.
with a little extra red around the outside
Yeah.
smoke ring. It was really good.
So a little bit about the brine. What set this apart from last time that you did a brine last time?
Yeah, it's,
not as long.
honestly, it's been like 5 years since I've done one.
Yeah.
And last time I remember the flavor was good. It was good too, but it wasn't. I didn't brine it long enough. Like the red didn't go all the way through. There was like a little normal looking brown brisket in the middle.
Obviously, a lot of salt, right? You've
It's a shit ton of salt,
Got some
sugar,
peppercorn.
peppercorns. There's a ton of shit that goes into it, honestly, and I don't have it in front of me, but pink salt, right? So
Yeah.
like the pink curing salt.
Yep.
But I'm gonna put that recipe out there, and it should be in our newsletter too. So if you're not subscribed to that,
Did you shave it,
should
or
be.
is it on the?
yeah, I used the meat slicer and
Yeah.
shaved it all down, and it's really fucking good.
Dude, I'm telling you, man. So I obviously I was there with you when you were pulling it out. You're like, man, it's almost like I forgot. Oh shit, I forgot. I got to go do this real quick. And it was that moment you went out there, and I'm like, damn, what are you doing over here? 3 briskets come out, and you're just, I got to flip these. I'm like, do you think do you really need to flip them? And
I don't know, but I did.
no, it's right. Yeah,
Why can't you just like leave it for 5 days on one side and then 5 days
it's
on the other
submerged.
side? Yeah.
I don't know.
Basically, yeah, there's very little of it that wasn't submerged anyway, but yeah.
I don't know why you can't do something. I just know that you did it right.
Did what I was supposed to do.
And you're benefiting.
I was still, it was funny, I was still nervous when I went to go slice it. I was like, this thing better be freaking pink all the way through because
Yeah.
it took 10 fucking days.
Badass.
But yeah, it was very good. I know the rub, I didn't get a chance to ask him about what rub he used or whatever. He basically said he just cooked it like any other brisket. So I found I think it was Malcolm Reed's rub recipe for his pastrami and just went with that.
Okay.
It was good.
And then, so what did that yield? So you gave some away, right? Or did you
A little
keep it
bit,
all?
but most of it, I mean, we ate, it was on Thanksgiving. We ate a lot that
Yeah.
day. And then, no, I used the VacMaster.
Oh yeah.
And I bagged up a shit ton of it. I have a bunch in my freezer.
There it
I've
is.
eaten it like 5 times since then. So
Pull a little about. You put it in some boiling water, heat it up. You're ready to go.
yeah, you do like that. I just used like Denny has like a little countertop. What do you call it? Like a skillet.
Yeah.
Just threw some in there, a couple ice chips, made it steam up real fast, then took it off. Put the bread in with a little butter, toasted it up, threw the pastrami back on top with some Swiss, just melted that on, pulled
Yeah.
it, sauerkraut, little Thousand Island, and called it dinner.
Let's go, man.
It was real good.
I listen. So obviously you got a couple of videos you can share
I
with
got some
that.
stuff coming.
And yeah, I was watching a video the other day, and a guy was like making this. It was like this, like ham or turkey. I think it was ham. Looked like ham or something. That he was making a sandwich, but the title of it was "This bread just be breading," or "This is the most bread." This whatever it was, but it was this hot bread that just come out of the thing, right? I think this is Italian. It looked very Italian, like it was in Italy or whatever else, because the bread was very just crunchy, right? But he cuts into it. It's very, and he opens it up, and he goes to, it's steaming at this point, right? Butter, and you're like, okay, that's a generous amount of butter. And he goes back in, more butter, right? And just scoops more butter on the same side. You're like, wait, hey, man, hey, bro, you just put like, I don't know, 8 tablespoons of butter on this damn thing.
That's all the butter.
You know? Yeah, and then he goes over and he gets these cherry tomatoes and he starts cutting them by hand. Cherry tomato, boom, cherry tomato. I'm like, it's like this bread be breading, I think is what it was. Or this is the most bread. I don't know how the wording was. It was crazy. I was like, once it made, I was like, okay, great. Now I'm going to make bread now. This is like, it spawned this whole thing that I have now. That I'm like, okay, I can make that bread. I can do that. It looks so good. That sandwich looked phenomenal.
Yeah.
Yeah. The olive oil, fresh olive oil on top, the tomatoes, the fucking mound of butter he put on there that just melted instantly.
Makes everything better.
Because it was so hot, right?
Right.
He's spreading it, butter melted. Just done, right? I don't know. Yeah.
I think we as humans should be eating bread, right?
Jesus.
It's,
man.
it's not
Do this.
natural.
Don't do this.
What's
Don't
wrong
do
with
this,
you?
James.
That's
Don't
a
do
joke.
this.
There's
Don't
somebody
even-
out there listening. They're like, God dang it, he's right.
Yeah. No.
No, he's not right.
I made a sandwich and
Probably shouldn't.
I use meat for bread. I use
Meat bread.
meat bread, and it's called steak.
Right. You just slice the brisket thicker on the end.
Right. Do we want to do a beer review before we jump into this interview with Greg, or do we want to
up to
do
you.
it
We got about-
afterwards? We got about 15 minutes before he is jumping on deck.
We do.
You're
Yeah,
cool.
we
We're
can
good?
go through some. We can barbecue news. We can go through some. Yeah, there's plenty.
John's side eyeing. And barbecue news today, or no, John?
I just got a little bit, not much.
Just a teaser. Let's
Just a
go.
little teaser of the hot off the grill barbecue news.
Okay,
Nailed it, Raul.
there it
That
is,
was
Raul.
perfect.
Hey,
It's all about the
he
timing.
is. Hey, whew,
Sorry.
nailed it.
That's so fun.
Hey, I didn't want things to be perfect, so I had to delay
Well,
a
it
little
can't.
bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you gotta leave room for improvement.
Yeah.
Well, that's the
exactly.
7-second delay we have for live.
Yeah.
We're just getting used to that.
We're not. We're actually still in the garage, and we're just skyping into the studios.
Okay, good.
Anyways, I was just talking to Calvin. You guys, a lot of folks have probably already heard about this if you're following anything in barbecue, really. But Memphis in May, there's been all that crap going
Oh,
on.
yeah.
Where we're going to be here,
Where it's
gonna
gonna
there,
be,
all this kind of
yeah.
stuff. Well, apparently, the newest thing is there's a new event slated for the same exact weekend now as Memphis in May in Memphis, and it's going to be at the old Memphis in May location.
What's it called?
I have no idea. I don't have that information.
I feel like that's some salty shit going on right there.
Yeah.
Like we're going to
Yeah,
do
yeah,
it
yeah.
the same day,
You know what
the
they're
same
you-
weekend.
You know what they're about
Right.
to lose? They're about to lose the whole Memphis in May is going to be something else in May.
Well, I don't know. I don't know all of it. But what I do know is that apparently, it's the cities that's being kind of shitty about it, right?
Yeah,
And,
it's salty.
Yeah. And the Memphis in May CEO is retiring January 31st. So that's what I have. But we do have Greg coming on. I know he did a deep dive into this just recently, so I figured we ask him about that a little bit too, and get his take on this because I know he's been following the Memphis in May fiasco pretty deep. So, anyways, that's all I got for the hot off the grill barbecue news, brought to you by Barbecue News Magazine and the NBBQA.
There it is. I'm all in favor of doing a beer review. By the way, I just
Let's
thought the news was going to be really good, and
Was it?
yeah, it really was.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I think it's very controversial what you brought up, and if you get a chance, this is not a light subject, and I think this has been something we've been talked about for quite a while now. Ever since last year, this thing's been talked about. So if you get a chance, get informed, get in the game, and see what's really going on, because I think this is I think it's something that a lot of people really care about. And
Yeah. Contact your local representative.
no,
and
no, I don't think you have to do that, James. I think you have to
Inquire
Nope.
about see if your city
No.
municipality can host the Memphis May.
That's it.
Maybe Pearland can
I don't.
host it.
We're not in Memphis, James, and I don't think it
Memphis.
works that way.
Pearland in May.
Yeah.
I like it.
But you know what? There's another city that wants it. I'll tell you that.
Oh, there's probably lots of
there's
them.
another city that wants this. So either you want it or you don't want it.
Yeah. So I think right now it's like we'll get into this beer. I think right now it's a holding pattern, right? It's a waiting pattern. People are trying to see which cook-off they're going to.
Yeah.
Because Memphis May is still the championship. It's still a world. It's still a big time
is.
cook-off. The new one's not really there, but it's like, okay, what's the money going to be like? And then are the big time guys going to go there? Because they're not going to go there if it's by themselves.
That's the thing. If the city's trying to skirt that and go, you know what? Hey, you're somewhere else. We'll do our own, and we're going to call it whatever it is, right? Some new name, and they're going to have some other event there. And the other event is some barbecue thing, dude. People are going to lose their freaking mind. You know what I mean? The history, the nostalgia. So I just don't see that happening.
Yeah. Speaking of nostalgia, let's get into the grabbing the brisket.
Beer review. Damn, I've been taking singing lessons. Not working. Not working. Just get my money back.
I hope it didn't cost too much. What do you got here, James?
So we
Jesus,
got the
dude.
Crashpad. This is from the Real Ale Brewing Company. This is an Imperial Hazy IPA. We got 9.3 alcohol by volume, coming in at a full 12 fluid ounces.
Yeah, man. Listen, why can't we get a cup of this? Like, I got to work tomorrow. This is not good.
Not good.
I've already pre-gamed. No, it's great. I'm just saying,
Just drink a
9.3.
sip. If you don't have to drink all of it, just drink a sip of
Let's
it.
get a picture of this. No, James, you can toast. Right here. I'm coming at you. But yeah.
Anyways, Crashpad.
It's a cool little can.
It is.
It is a cool game. It's very, I don't know what the hell it is. It's kind of retro looking.
The 90s,
Yeah.
maybe. I don't really see
Maybe.
80s out of it, but so I know you had a cool story about the.
Yeah, I don't know if it's cool or even really a story, but Crashpad in the aviation industry is what it's like. When I started at Southwest, I was living in Sacramento, based in Baltimore, so I had to stay at what we called a crash pad in Baltimore. Basically, a bunch of flight attendants all rented one, and in this case, it was like an apartment, basically. And they called it a crash pad because you'd go there, you'd stay the night, and then the next day you'd go to work.
What if other people were there?
Yeah, there was always other people there.
What if there's like a room full of people?
The room that I stayed in had 7 beds in it. So yeah, there was always people there.
A lot of like flight attendant,
Like 7 beds in a room?
Like 3 bunk beds and then one little twin bed, and then the other room had 2 bunk beds.
Dude.
So there's 4 beds. in
Oh
it.
my freaking
And
God,
it's called
dude.
a crash pad.
Can you
Are we
imagine?
talking about female flight attendants?
Not
and
the one
this-
I said. There was co-ed ones. I definitely did not stay at those.
Dude, can you imagine that? Like,
didn't
I
have to.
snore so loud.
Oh, there was stores for sure.
Dude, I would have woke. I'm like, I mean, just the, God, I wish I could live that life
Right.
a little bit. Just
It was something.
run the gauntlet.
Thank
Just have
God
to,
it
like,
wasn't pilots that had to crash
Yeah.
there because
Well, they had their own. There's pilot crash pads too, but yeah.
oh, they don't commingle.
So there was probably some that were
commoners,
mixed, but yeah,
right?
Yeah, they
You're a
probably had
commoner.
much nicer
Hey.
crash pads than ours.
I drive the plane.
look, we'll be honest, and I know
you
Greg,
serve
you're
the
listening.
drinks.
Our flight attendant, our pilot, Greg. I know you're listening, and I know it's
Sorry, Greg.
it's a skilled job,
Yeah. No, it is.
but a lot of it is just kind of
No, James, you're downplaying what it is.
a lot of it just maintains itself, right?
It's really fucked up what you're saying.
I saw documentaries. I read articles talk about that. All they do is just take off and land.
No, yes. Okay.
But
You also
they-
have
the-
150 people in your
know.
hands.
If there's an emergency,
Bullshit.
there.
Yes. Also, yeah, it's not glorified like it was in the 50s.
No.
In the 50s,
For anybody.
you were the man because women couldn't fly, but you were still the freaking man.
I wonder
You know
why
what I
they
mean?
wouldn't let them fly.
What do you mean? Fly a plane?
Yeah,
Because
Be
What?
careful.
are you serious?
Back then, yeah.
no,
There's a
just kidding.
reason why.
Just
Yeah.
kidding.
Yeah,
No, it's fine.
I'm just saying that, dude. There are celebrities
Back then, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Even flight
Celebrities.
attendants were looked at a
Oh,
lot
are
different
you
back
kidding?
then.
Can we
than
go
now.
back then? Because flight attendants used to be on they were graded. It was almost like Hooter girls, right?
Oh, it was worse
in the
than that.
90s.
Yeah.
90s, 90s Hooter girls, they were on a grade level, right? You had to fit whatever else. No, I'm not saying that that's wrong or right. I'm just saying that's the way it was. 50s, 60s. Oh yeah, that was
Even 70s, yeah.
yeah, dude.
Well, I'll tell you another little story from when I was in training. They had all of us in the class stand up, and there was about 85 of us or so in this class, right? So we all stand up, and they say, they start naming like criteria, and they said, if you don't meet the criteria, sit down. So the first one was like, if you're a man, sit down. So all the dudes sit down. If you're under this height, if you're over this height, if you're whatever, all these things. And by the end, there was 3 people left standing. And they were like, you 3 would have qualified to work here in 1972 or whatever when we started. And I was like, wow, well, that's some shit.
Well, can we bring that back?
No, I wouldn't have a job.
Remember back in the day when we used to be able to dude, I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be a male chauvinist. I'm just saying. Get a different job.
Yeah, start up
Change
your
some
own
oil or
airline,
something.
James.
I don't know what to say. Maybe I should start my own airline.
Yeah, you should.
Let's get into this Crashpad beer review.
It's really good, by the way.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I like this.
It's like an AM beer, right?
No.
It's an AM beer. You get that? You get that vibe, James? Very citrusy. Yeah. Thank you, man. Thank you, James. Thank you for feeding it the.
Yeah, it's like a mimosa.
Yeah. It's like a mimosa, man. Try it.
Yeah, I tried it.
Feels good. Cheers.
We've cheersed like 4 times already.
Yeah, it's fine.
This is a cheersy kind of night.
If you don't mind, can I go first
I would love
with
that,
this?
yeah.
I think the beer is really crisp. I think it's clean. I think it has really good flavor. Definitely, you get the citrus in this. It's forward, but it's not in a way that it's like it's kind of just bitter. You know what I mean? And you definitely tell it's 9.3, dude. This thing doesn't taste alcoholic, but you feel like you're getting this punch, right? Boom. Yeah. Name's 9.3. I'm getting 8.3. 8.3 for me, man. This is a really good freaking beer. All day long.
Okay. I'm not getting any booziness from it at all, really. I think it's crisp. It's delicious. It's got a great citrus flavor, like you said. I really like it, and it's like the right amount of hops. And as much as I like it, I must just be full or something because I'm trying to get into it, and I just can't get into it. Even having said that, I'm gonna go 8-1. It's got a great flavor. It's really good.
It's a good beer. Damn, it's a good beer.
Yeah, I like that. I'm not going to beat around the bush. And
Okay.
Okay.
Don't do it. We don't want you beating
Yeah,
around the bush.
we wouldn't
Yeah,
be able to bear it.
we talked about that. It's like, you know why you call beating around the bush? Like they paid like peasants like in the 1800s to go around beating bushes to get the pheasants and the little birds to come out. So the rich, which
Oh, that was like-
socialites or whatever can go, oh, bird.
Yeah, shoot some dude in the back. I thought it was a bird. That's fine. He's a peasant.
Go beat
Jesus, dude.
Go beat thy bush over there. So
Is
I
that
can,
where?
Yeah.
Is that where the peasants came from?
What?
Pheasants.
Pheasants.
Okay.
Pheasants. Pheasants.
Yeah.
It's also better to have a bird in hand than 2 birds in a bush or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Bird in the hand's worth 2 in the bush.
correct. There
Yeah.
it is, Jan. 8.0. It's a solid. beer.
8-0.
Yeah.
We're right there together.
I really feel like on a different day, I would give this a much higher score, but this is good. I do like it.
It's
Yeah.
clean. It's crisp, but you don't really have just a nasty, just like that. Some of those hoppy beers will just give you a nasty, bitter aftertaste that'll
Yeah.
just sit there and linger with you. But it's clean.
I-
I like
I-
it. feel
I
like
want to
could
go
drink a
higher right
couple.
now, and I feel like if I had one maybe tomorrow, or whatever else. The beer is really good. Like I saw 8.7 earlier. I saw 9 in this beer. You know what I mean?
I was right there too.
This is a really, really good beer. And I dropped it lower because I feel like there's something on the back end. It just keeps, it hits it and just kind of goes away. And I dropped it low, but I kind of wish I wouldn't have now because I see what this beer is. It's really, really freaking good beer. Really good beer. And by the way, Crashpad, you're the reason why I'll be late tomorrow. So there's that.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Not too late. Cheers, guys. And this is the Grabbing the Brisket.
Beer review. There it is.
Let's pay some bills and hear from one of our friends in Oddpods. Maybe hear something from Frank, get some questions answered, and hopefully when we come back, we'll have a guest to talk to.
There we go.
You know, smoking meats isn't just cooking. It's an art form. The aroma, those deep flavors, the patience, it's a whole experience.
And behind every great artist, there's the right set of tools. If you're aiming to build your own barbecue pit or dreaming of a custom design tailored just for you, SmokerBuilder.com has your back.
Led by Frank Cox, their expertise is unmatched. Offering blueprints, kits, and insights, they turn every barbecue dream into a flavorful reality.
Imagine your backyard, the center of attention, and at the heart of it, a smoker that's uniquely yours.
It's more than just equipment. It's about crafting those unforgettable moments. And with the guidance of Frank and his team, you're setting the stage for magic.
So whether you're a seasoned pitmaster or taking your first steps into the smoky world,
head over to SmokerBuilder.com, fill up your carts, and be sure to use the promo code GRABTHEBRISKET in all caps to receive your 10% discount. Smoke on.
threw down some ribs last night, used the Chicks That Smoke spicy rub, mind blown.
Dude, that's what I'm saying. Like the Chicks That Smoke spicy barbecue all-purpose rub, dude, it is a game changer for sure.
Yeah, if you folks have not given it a shot, you need to.
Honestly, your barbecue will thank you.
Chicks That Smoke, it's at Sucklebusters.com. Bro, you know that new Dalstrong knife I just got?
The ridiculously sharp one that I almost cut myself on? Yeah.
Yeah, me too. But seriously, it made such a difference in my grilling. Every cut is so clean and precise.
And it's true what they say, a sharp knife is actually a safer knife.
That's accurate. And if our listeners want a new badass knife, they need to go check out Dalstrong.
We got a discount link below right in our podcast description, and just be careful, they are sharp.
Dalstrong, a cut above the rest.
Hey man, it's me, Kevin Smith. Everybody knows at the root of any good relationship, any relationship worth anything, is the only thing that matters between two people. And I'm talking about television. That's right. That's why you should listen to Married with Television, man, which is a podcast by my friends Shannon and Jamie, I call her cat ears, about movies and TV that they have loved for decades, man. You listen at marriedwithtv.com or anywhere you get your podcasts. They are proud members of the Oddpods Media Network, man. Married with Television.
And now it's time for Frank Knows What's Wrong With It. As always, send in your questions to 434-829-2299 or shoot us an email at info@grabtheminthebrisket.com.
Hey guys, I'm Frank Cox. I'm the barbecue pit engineer, and here's another Frank Knows What's Wrong With It. I got a question from my buddy here, Isaac B. I'm going to read it to you. I got to look down. Have you ever made a live fire style cooking table, the kind that you can hang all kinds of contraptions and stuff from? And I love that question because that's exactly how I would have said it. So anyway, yeah, I've made some different arrangements, let's call them. So my favorite way to do this, my personal favorite, is like a round, fire table of some kind. And I usually keep it pretty close to the ground. And we made some called Schwenkers recently. And that's a German style open fire cooker. And it uses like a tripod sort of a A-frame. And then you hang a chain from the middle. You can put grates on it. You can do whatever. But there's really no wrong answers. That's a great question. You can do just as long as you got enough room for a fire, you can move coals around on the surface and hang stuff above it. That's really the only requirements. I will tell you this, I like a shallow pan. I don't like the pan to be very tall because then air has to suck down in and you're going to wind up with flames that kind of come up and they consume all the oxygen and it kind of whips around a little bit. So it's going to actually put a limit on how hot your coal bed can get. A really good guy to follow that'll teach you a lot about all of that kind of stuff is my buddy Al Fragoni. He's out of Texas. He has Fuegos, Texas. And everything I know, I'm basically learning as I go from him because he's really, really good at it. So there you go. You can also check out Embers TV. Al's on there, and you'll see a lot of cool stuff there as well. So anyway, great question, Isaac.
Hey everybody, James Grab the Brisket here. We got Greg Rempe from the BBQ Central Show. Hey, Greg, how's your day going?
I'm great. How are you guys?
Hey, we're doing quite well. I mean, we're doing better now. We had a little technical issues, but it looks like we got that all ironed out.
I thought we weren't
Must
bringing that up.
must have been before I jumped on. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nothing to see here.
Yeah, all behind the scenes stuff.
Exactly.
Trust me, I know all about it.
I love
You need
this.
to start reaching out to him and asking questions and whatnot. Probably
I know, right?
he's been doing this for a
I'm
while.
here to help. Come on. I mean, ask everybody. Malcolm and Grill Coach, Pitmasters podcast, bunch of people that flamed out already. I'm here to help. I've
There's
learned a lot over the years. No need to learn to go through the same pitfalls and pains that I've gone through over the last 18 years. I'm here to help.
Yeah, I was
There
gonna
it
say he's been doing this a long time, and there's been a lot of them. There's a lot of them out there, but there's been a lot of them come and go.
Yeah.
Most.
Yeah.
So that's the thing right there. So Greg, how long have you been putting this out there?
In February 2024, that will mark. I got to do math. Let's try it this way instead. In February of 2008, I started the live show. So is that is that 16 years complete and starting year 17, or 15 years complete starting year 16, whatever?
Yeah.
2 years prior to that, so I guess that would be 06 to 08, I was doing it as a straight podcast where I would record long form audio like you guys do, and then whittle it down to the best 20, 30 minutes, post once a week. So I did that for 2 years, and then I separated out. So this is going back a long time. The hot technology of the day when I got into barbecue was message forums. You can believe it.
Yeah.
So I had a huge barbecue forum, and to separate out, I started podcasting. I had heard about it, and it was just in its infancy. It still feels like it's in infancy in 2023, but back then, really infantile. Just like maybe a couple, like Adams or whatever it was, getting ready to split. And I was like, maybe to set my forum apart, I'll start this podcasting. Ray Basso at the time, I don't know if you're familiar with that name or not. He had started podcasting. It was horrible. And I said, well, I could be better than this guy at worst. So the bar is pretty low at this stage. And it was just me bringing in some of the forum members and talking about what they cook on and what section of the forum do you like best. And at that point, it seemed to go pretty good. I was having a little fun with it. And 2 years later, there was an influx of barbecue podcasts. So to re-separate, I decided to do a live stream, which is how the show is now.
Yeah.
And I ended up teaming up with a guy who was starting an online radio station out of LA through Craigslist, of course, because that's how you find people. And we figured out technology where he would connect into Cleveland and then redirect the sound over his servers out of LA, and internet radio was born.
There it is. That's pretty fucking badass.
It is cool.
Yeah.
I'm more impressed that you're able to do 20 to 30 minutes. You're able to whittle down 20 to 30 minutes of what you said, quality content. Because if we try to do that, we'd have to record for like 6 hours.
Yeah, because we
just
have like no
let's just
quality.
talk for an hour and just run that shit.
We have no quality. That's what it is, right? Yeah.
I disagree.
Right.
So
Come
when
on.
I tell people about podcasting, or when people ask me what are the top things to recommend, I always end with how important editing is. So if you long form it for an hour or an hour, I mean, honest to God, you got 15 top quality minutes at best if you really are honest with yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And edit that shit out. Do you want your listeners to be listening to your shit? Or they don't need to know that you blew an hour and a half on nonsense and you only got 15 quality minutes. What do they know? They're just getting the finished product. So they're like, wow, these guys are great. They're delivering top-notch content. It's edited well. And I can't wait to tune in next week or every other week or whatever your release schedule is.
Mhm.
Right.
So I say edit, edit, edit. When you think you've edited enough, edit more. And then maybe a little bit more after that. You can never edit too much. I mean, I would always rather have people wanting more than going, when will this fucking thing stop?
Yeah, right. This thing was so long, and you know, honestly, it's probably really good feedback because I think we've seen this in the past where, like we had people write in or call in and going, "Hey, I just binged. I'm a truck driver. I just binged 8 hours of your podcast." And you're like, who the hell just listened to this? And you're like, thank you.
Yeah.
It's an honor. To be honest with you, it's an honor.
Yeah.
Somebody says, I could listen to you do this for a while. And I drove all damn day, and all of a sudden I realized that I'm at the end of your podcast and I need more. And that's kind of what we got. Not nothing on your scale or anything else, but at the same time, it was a moment where we kind of looked at each other and said, "Damn, this is
Somebody listened. Somebody who's
this
long
is the
suffering.
thing, right? This is the thing, man." So it kind of energizes you a little bit, and it makes you want to be better, and makes you want to create better, and you know, I don't know. It's just kind of a cool. It's a cool little field for us,
Yeah, I love that. So you don't know, Greg, but you will when you go to watch this whole episode. Raul, I'm going to need you to edit a lot of that chili competition cook talk that I had earlier when I went on for like 20 minutes and just rambled. I need you to condense that down to about 5 minutes.
No,
Just the
like
part where he
2
lost.
minutes.
Yes,
Just 2 minutes.
Just
Yeah.
short, sweet, and we'll be done with that. But no, it's something that I think a lot of people don't really think about that or grasp about that. I watched a lot of YouTube videos, and it's more kind of through my kid watching YouTube and watching her little celebrities and influencers that she watches, and you watch these videos, and it's the day in their lives, and it's just cut. There, all the all the pauses, all the everything is just sucked out of it. And you just get pure, just straight that character. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it just, and they're just like staring at it, just glued to it.
Yeah.
Whatever it is. Hey, I'm making a pie here. Here we go. I'm like, oh goodness. So yeah, maybe we do go a little long winded on some things, but honestly, it's probably a little bit of the beer talking and
I don't
us
see
just having fun, just communicating and talking with each other, guys.
Here's the bottom line. If we're going to be honest with ourselves, it's a lot of fucking work to edit.
Mm-hmm.
So
It is.
where are you going to get lazy at? Are you going to get lazy producing the content? You're going to get lazy talking, covering topics? No, that's fun. What sucks is eliminating the bullshit out of it. So the majority of folks think whatever they were just talking about is fucking gold. Why would I edit out gold? It's all there for the taking.
Right.
But no, it's a lot of work. It's painstaking work. If you do an hour of long form, you got at least an hour, probably double that in editing. If you're really going to go down and try and polish it up, not make it too fake, but really make it listenable and eliminate nonsense. And that's where a lot of podcasts get lost. They don't want to put in the work on the non-sexy side to make it a sexy product for the listener. They don't have the listener at heart. And God damn it, there's so many other opportunities and options for things to consume. Why would you give a potential listener a reason to leave? You got to draw them in and keep them. And editing is a big part of that, especially if it's podcast. I can get away with a little bit because I'm live. But even then, if I have a major technical issue, and I've had them throughout many years, I edit that out of the podcast. If you're on the live feed, tough shit. You're living through it like I am. But I will not put the podcast listener through that. I will take that out, even if it's 40 seconds. If it's just ridiculous, I'm not going to make anybody suffer through that. Or, heaven forbid, it's longer than that, 5 minutes. I've had it happen. That all magically erases in the podcast feed. I'm not putting the podcast listener through that. But that's why also I do love my live listening audience better than my podcasters because they're fucked. They're in it with me.
Yeah, they're in it, right? Yeah.
So I gotta love them more.
Strap in.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and that's still they. It's not that it's strap in. They've already seatbelted in. They've already chosen to seatbelt in and take the ride.
We're going up the roller coaster hill together.
That's why you love them.
Yeah.
So we have not done a live. Maybe no. We've never done a live episode. And honestly, I know we flirted with it a little bit, and I think it's something we want to do. To be honest with you, I think we look at people that are successful like you, and we go, okay, like what can we borrow from this to go whatever. I don't know, man. I'm kind of fearful from it because I'm like, we're such a shit show that yeah, whatever, right? I mean, it is what it is, but it's not. At the same time, I'm like, do it. You know what I mean? There's that inside voice that says, go forward, push it, and see what happens. So we're not there yet. I mean, and we're definitely trying to be, but yeah, who knows? Who knows?
Can we go into can we go into a little bit of the origin stories of the BBQ
Jesus.
Central
You
store?
want
Tell us
origin?
about your childhood.
Yeah.
We
Hey,
want to know, baby Greg.
Did you
At one
eat
point in time did he decide he wanted to do
grapes?
a barbecue show?
Yeah. Come on.
I never.
Yeah.
So I'm not
Never been asked this
professionally,
question.
not a professionally trained anything radio guy. I never had any thought about being in radio like younger in life. I wanted to be a professional baseball player, basketball player, anything. But that was not going to work out because I was average at everything and average athletic ability and all that other stuff. So I went to college and I shouldn't have done that, but I met my wife there. So good thing that I did, but otherwise waste. And I was into like grilling, only grilling. We got a house. My wife bought me this Kenmore grill for a housewarming present. And I proceeded to cook through the back of it, literally, inside of a year and a half. Like the back of the firebox pushed in and caved in. That was it. But it was great. It was like 3-tiered rack thing and got a whole bunch of food on that. So I was going to buy a replacement for that. I had this Gen Air all stainless steel. This is a long time ago. It was $1,200, so it was probably like $5,000 now. But it was like, it had the big rotisserie burner in the back, very sexy. And just out of sheer chance, I was talking to my cousin, who was a barbecue caterer in Delaware. And if you boil the origin story of the BBQ Central Show down to like where it is today, if you track it back, it's my cousin's fault, my cousin Glenn. And he said, have you ever considered buying a barbecue pit instead of just this grill you're talking about? And I said, I don't even know what you're talking about. And he proceeded to give me education, low and slow, different kind of options for entry level, bought a Weber Smoky Mountain. My wife got it for me for Father's Day one year. And that's where it started. Was terrible at that, made 2 or 3 below average racks of ribs. The Weber Smoky Mountain was getting set up to be a planter in the tree lawn. So I was like, how the fuck do you control the temperature on this thing? I'm following the directions to the word, but it's raging hot.
It sucks.
Yeah. So before I threw it out, I found the virtualweberbullet.com, which was dedicated to the Weber Smoky Mountain.
Oh, yeah.
Learned I had been doing it all wrong. Build temperature, from the start, build it up, capture it there instead of trying to bring it down. And then my world changed. I was introduced to forums. I was introduced to people that had a tremendous amount of experience with this cooker. There was camaraderie being built online. And that was the first stages of how that looked back then, 2004. So I started the forum. And then, of course, I told you how the progression has been up to that. But I never had any aspiration to be anything on the internet. It just, the dominoes fell the right way. You could find an interest or you could find somewhere to go to get answers to your questions. And it was quick. If you were on a heavily trafficked forum, you didn't have to wait a day or two for answers. You could get them in minutes. So I was able to build a forum that reached those levels over a certain period of time. And then eventually I sold it because I had way more passion for the podcast at that time before getting into the live show. And some guy was looking for a forum. He figured out a way to make money on that shit through advertising. So I sold it to him. And then I just took over the podcast and built that into the live show and where we are in 2023.
Yeah.
Let's go, man.
Oh yeah.
Awesome.
That's badass.
You always like, I still get people, and it's more, I think it's more kind of the older generation. It's just still kind of hesitant on podcasts. They're just like, I don't know where to go to get those. I'm not really sure. And I'm like, well, you could just, if you have a phone, it's like, do you know YouTube? Yeah. No, I look at YouTube. I'm like, okay, well, I mean, you can look at it there. He's like, oh, okay. I didn't know that. I thought it was like some magic, like, podcast realm that I had to subscribe to. And I'm not paying extra money for that. I'm like, nah, you actually don't have to pay money at all. It's for free. But yeah, there's a lot of younger generation. It seems like now they're just like everybody's just creating a podcast.
Dude,
Like
kids
podcast over
got
just whatever
podcast
coming out.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. It's kind of where we're at, right? We fist bumping.
No, I'm just hanging out.
Oh, okay.
We can fist
I
bump.
thought
if
we
you
were
want.
fist bumping over
No,
here.
we're good.
No, I think it's where we're at as a society and wherever else. But I mean, like it's this thing to go. You know, I want to hear myself. You know, I want to hear myself say something or whatever else. I don't necessarily think that's what it is, and that's not how we got involved or anything else. I think this for us, we got involved because we were a group of guys that were competing, and we were like. We had Vegas, so James's Garage is known as Vegas because once you go in, you feel like you pump the garage full of oxygen, and next thing you know, it's 4 a.m. You're like, "What the fuck just happened?" That's why Vegas spawned. But there was this moment where it was like, you know, we're always saying something, talking about this, talking about that. It was a group. It was like a heated discussion at most times, and so it's like we should record this, and then that became, you know, like okay, great, and all of a sudden it was like great podcast, and then everybody kind of jumped on it. Like I was the only one pulling off. I was like, I'm not doing a podcast. Hey, and you know the way it was sold to me was like, if you just buy a microphone, we can do it. And
You didn't buy a microphone.
even then, I was like, I'm not buying a microphone. I don't know what this is. I'm not really going to buy a microphone. I don't really care. I'm so glad that y'all stayed like a little bit back and said, you know what, Jam, we'll give you a little time. Even now, I have not bought a microphone. And it's not that I won't buy a microphone, but I would love to, whatever else.
Clearly, you won't.
Whose setup is this that I'm looking into? I mean, this is a major league setup here.
Yeah,
It
so
is.
We got the Pearland Podcast Studios here where we live at. We got the Charlie Mike production setup that they're doing here. So we this is new to us for the last maybe 6 weeks,
About
2 months,
3 months,
3
something like
months.
that,
Yeah,
and it's working out well for us.
Oh, so you got to pay for that?
we
Yeah,
do.
yeah.
So
What do you pay? What do you pay for that?
I mean,
So
it's
some of this, some of that.
it's arm and a leg.
Yeah.
You know, no, it ain't.
Just in
it-
case our wife.
$200? Is it $200 for a show?
No, it's less
less than that. Less
yeah,
than that.
yeah. It's about 100 and like 125 maybe.
And they record it, and you guys are gone.
Yeah, this is
Oh,
what
okay.
happens.
Sorry.
Oh, there
Okay.
it is.
Record, edit.
yeah.
Yeah.
They do the whole thing. So
Yeah.
when you get it from them, it's all buttoned up, and away you go.
Yeah.
Yep.
We basically proof
so-
it and then go, hey, can you change this or that if we need you to? And then
Yeah, so kind of right. So carte blanche. Yeah, you can let everything just go and it'll happen. However, I think that the input is what makes it so much better. And it's not obviously we have not grinded as long as you've done anything else. But for us, it became this. There's so many people involved with our production that it was like it was falling on one person. I think John was at a point. It's like I'm tired of producing. And it is a job, right? It's like you don't listen one
I don't
time.
want to do it anymore.
How many times you listen to one episode? And John's like, "Can I get somebody to listen to this episode?" Yeah, great. We'll listen to it, and we always give we always give negative feedback. John, you missed this. John, you did. You know what I mean? And it got to a point to where John just was like, "F you,"
Yeah,
you know.
you don't get to listen anymore. You can hear it when it goes live.
Yeah, and respect, right? And so I started looking around, and I found this, and I put it out to the guys. I said, "Listen, let's go record here one time, and if I can't sell you on it one time, then we won't do it, and we'll go back. And you know what? I will learn how. And this is my thought process. I will learn. I will produce just as much as you're producing. I'm being serious.
No, I believe you are.
And I was thinking, like, I will do this. And we came here, we set up, and I told the guys, I said, guys, I'm trying to sell this because I think we need this right now. Like everybody is so busy, and you know, this is like the whole time where like tensions are high, right? I mean, we have.
Were you guys on the verge of breaking up? Was grab them in the brisket?
Nah,
not at all.
No. We're still.
I'm long suffering. So
No.
Friendships at stake.
not any more than usual. No.
No. We're always ready to fucking fight or something, you know?
Today's the last day.
Yeah, right. No, I think it was get to a point like, man, I just felt bad. I was like, you know what? I can do this. Like James can do this, and John was like, thank you for thinking of me a little bit, because if you don't do this, I'm out.
It wasn't
And-
like that, but I was definitely getting more burned out.
Yeah,
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and honestly, dude, I'm not sure if it's helped us drink more or just be idiots more, but yeah, let's go, man.
We didn't need help with either of those.
No,
No.
we didn't.
Let's go around. Let's go around the table here.
Yeah.
Do we think we're staying in this location ongoing? Yes or no?
That is yes.
Yes.
All
Yeah.
yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't think we're going anywhere. So far, we've been loving it.
No, it's been badass.
Yeah.
Is that because I'm sitting right here?
No,
Right.
Raul is sitting right here. We can't say anything because
Does Raul own the studio?
he does.
Yeah.
Sorry,
You're
Raul.
paying the guy that couldn't get you connected in the beginning?
Right.
Yeah.
I
Come
think
on,
I
Raul.
want to say that was on your side, Greg. That's what I'm going to go with.
Yeah.
I'm going to say that.
Right.
I love it. Hell yeah. Oh
Mm.
man.
All right. So earlier we were going over some barbecue news and talking about Memphis in May and some competitions and whatnot. And I know you got into it on your show just here recently. And I was pretty frank about it. I don't really know what the hell's going on over there, but I know you do. Maybe you can clue some folks in on this.
So this ends up probably, unless something happens in the next 2 weeks, which I doubt it, is going to be the story of the year on my show, because it is literally the gift that keeps on giving new news. What appears to feel like at least once a month, if not multiple times over the course of a month. So way even before Memphis in May happened in May, I had Malcolm on, had Mark Williams on. Malcolm's a monthly guest. Some of these other guys that compete in Memphis in May try hype it up a little bit. So
Mhm.
that's usual stuff. Then Memphis in May, the contest happens. We'll get the winner on, do a little recap, nonsense. And all of a sudden, the damage bill. So I don't know how much you want me to get in the weeds here. So
Yeah.
just, like,
Go ahead.
throw a hand up to tell me to shut the fuck up or whatever.
No.
Let's
So,
jump in.
so I've heard this, but yes, but there was a large bill, right? There was
Right.
this large
Something
bill that came
crazy.
out,
But
right?
you need a little more context than that.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Like forever, it's been held in this place called Tom Lee Park, which is right on the river, bottom of Beale Street. If you ever been to Memphis? I've never been there, but that's what I hear. So this is where it has been forever. Wasn't there last year because the Memphis River Parks Partnership, which is the organization that controls the parks, going through a big park renovation at Tom Lee Park. So instead, they had it at this place. It's got two names. You would hear it either as Liberty Park, which is the place that's going to be in 2024, which is also known as Tiger Lane.
Mhm.
I don't know what that means.
Oh, yeah.
There's a football team there or something.
Memphis.
So-
Tiger.
Yeah, that's probably it. So it's one and the same names, Tiger Lane or Liberty Park, same place. So Memphis in May came back this year to Tom Lee Park. Everybody's excited. It's a whole new reconfigure of the park. There was a lot of consternation building into it this year. At one point, there was talk of a near $8,000 security deposit that was going to be required to any team that was going to be participating and the barbecue vendors
Yeah.
in order to build up money for damage, I would assume. They didn't say that at that point. This was many months ago. Somehow that got worked down to a much more manageable figure for the teams, like $400 or whatever it was. So they load in. The park's been completely reconfigured. In all the years past, it's just this big open space out on Mississippi River. So you're not really messing anything up. It's just open. It always rains. It's muddy. It's all part of the deal. Well, this year they came in and it's been completely reconfigured. There's asphalt, there's pathways, there's shrubbery, there's under the ground irrigation, picket fences and whatnot. And now we have a barbecue contest. The week before that, you have the Beale Street Music Festival. So whatever damage has transpired over that week is there now. And then you have the barbecue guys potentially building on top of that, which I guess is what happened. And by the time Memphis in May transpires, Everybody loads out. When you look at the damage bill, you think that the atomic bomb went off at Tom Lee Park.
Oh, it was so much
$1.4
fun.
million of $1.4 million of damage. Asphalt,
Yeah.
cement, sodding, everything was ripped out. Irrigation systems. The breakdown of the bill was incredible to read. So after all the security deposits were backed out, the city had some security deposit in there. Memphis May had security deposit in there. There was a bill due of like $750,000 or $650,000, somewhere in that realm. Well, when you're used to having like a $50,000 damage bill every year that jumps to $750,
Yeah.
well,
There's a
that
problem.
wipes out any kitty that you had building up right away. And then how does that look for following contests in subsequent years? And what does that do for your financial picture? Blah, blah, blah. And now you're at odds with Memphis River Parks if you're Memphis and May. So they said fairly quickly that they weren't going to be returning back there. That was not a viable option. I mean, why would you go back to a place that just stuck you with a bill for that much?
Did they pay it?
It's still in the works. There was some insurance claims filed, but Memphis River Parks wanted their money like now. So they gave them a little bit of time. But I remember doing a show or a story on the show saying that Memphis River Parks Partnership had filed lawsuit against Memphis and May because they want their money. So that's getting worked through in court at this point. And again, I think the number we're looking at is somewhere in the $600,000-$700,000 range on that. So CEO Jim Holt said, we're out of here. They sent out a survey. They took input from the cooks about where they would want to go. They listed 3 or 4 or 5 options, and Liberty Park was the one that was voted to go back to. It had held 2 previous Memphis and Mays. So that's where it's going to be. There's no music festival this time around. Memphis and May was a big money loser last year, even at Tom Lee Park. When it was at Tiger Lane the year before that, it was a huge money loser because you don't even have any trickle down from Beale Street. So I don't know what it's going to even look like in 2024 just from a revenue side. I can't imagine it's going to be at best break even or go black. It's going to be a big money loser again. And then what are you doing? I've looked at the financials of Memphis and May. I mean, they're pretty well funded at the moment, but you go through successive years of multi-million-dollar losses, and you burn it up pretty quick. And it's not like they just have endless amounts of revenue and charitable donations coming in. So I'm not necessarily worried for 2024, but I mean, I could see there be a concern growing in the next couple of years where if they don't figure out a way to make the revenue right, that could be an issue.
Yeah.
So 2024, they're talking about going back to Tiger Lane. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Okay.
So there's been that whole side of things. And I ask Memphis and May to come on the show all the time. They don't reply dick. They don't want to talk about it. They'll go through WREG every so often. That's where I get my news from because they'll talk to them. But I want to give them platform to come on and talk because the people at Memphis River Parks have no problem. They don't come on the show, but they certainly answer all the emails I send. The CEO of Memphis River Parks replied to me on her LinkedIn post one time about how Memphis and May was fully aware of how the park was going to get reconfigured. Their operations manager was sitting on some type of a committee, and they said, we want the park to be like this. So Memphis River Parks built it the way Memphis and May said they wanted it. And nobody was in the dark here. This is the way they were asking for it, so they built it like that. It's all very bizarre.
I mean, I just think, like, what damage are you talking about? The grass? Like,
yes.
Is it
like
it?
everything that you could damage in a park.
Well, grass grows.
Crazy.
You know what I mean?
Crazy.
I feel like I have not been to Memphis in May,
Hold
but
on,
I feel
hold
like
on.
it was just
James.
a rambunctious, just great, just guys just tearing up shrubs.
No, I just say I want to hear.
digging
Yes.
holes.
No,
But see, this is the
but is
problem.
But is
This
this
is
the
the problem.
public or is this people?
This
Like
is teams
it's so it's only the teams. No
voting
public.
in, voting out, and then through the process of the contest.
Jeez
So
Louise,
I
that's
just-
crazy.
again,
Just-
you're going from a non-developed park
Yeah.
to now a park that has a park feel to it.
Mhm.
You know, there weren't pathways, cement and asphalt and shrubbery and all
Right.
this other nonsense.
All I know is grass grows. Grass grows.
Roses?
Yeah.
It does.
Grass grows, trees grow, like asphalt is asphalt.
It doesn't grow, though.
At a certain point, I just think like everybody knew what they were getting into. Like, and maybe I'm crazy, right? I understand what there was a bunch of money invested, and it's like you want to return on your investment. Yeah, great. It's still there. Like, I'm pretty sure nobody went out there with a dozer and tore up the asphalt, right? That's still there. But I just, at what point do you go, how do you quantify this?
I guess are the claims legitimate? Is what you're questioning.
Right. Does somebody knock over a sprinkler head and they're like, the irrigation system's done. It's lost. We
Yeah,
have to replace
right.
it all.
So within the confines of the contract,
Yeah. So that's
there
the
is a independent contractor that surveys the park.
Yeah.
Does a damage bill run up. It's all agreed to in advance, and that's what they came back with.
Jeez
There was
Louise.
That's what happens. Contract.
$8,000 worth of cement. There was $4,000 worth of asphalt. There was $3,000 worth of irrigation system. There was however many thousands of dollars in shrubbery.
Yeah.
That all needed to be repaired, replaced, what have you.
Sure.
And that's how it is.
Hmm.
This isn't willy-nilly. This isn't willy-nilly stuff.
Yeah.
These are things that are agreed on. And then at the end, it was executed. Now you have your bill. But whether you like it or not is irrelevant. These are the terms you've agreed to.
Yeah. No, and
It's
that's
not like the bill. I mean, everybody I've talked to, holding one aside, no names, please, said, did the park have damage? Yes. To the tune of $1.4 million? No. Now, one person said that park was decimated. Also, Mark Williams from Swine Life said that it almost felt like they were set up. You know, they're in the park mere weeks after it's been completed.
Yeah.
So
It
nothing
always
has changed
rains.
to harden
Yeah.
and, you know, sink in, settle, whatever you want to call it.
Right.
So it's even more apt to get torn out, damaged, what have you.
Freshly
Well,
new, late, odd.
This is just the way it is. And, well, lo and behold, 2 weeks ago, after Memphis releases their thing to say we're going to go to Liberty Park and we're taking applications, this new music festival and barbecue contest are going to go into Tom Lee Park on the same days as Memphis and May. They're going to be competing head to head.
Damn, dude.
So just when you think it couldn't get more dramatic.
Yeah.
That's
You guess
crazy.
Memphis in June.
Hey, if you're
Let's
going to cook
go.
there, make sure you read the fine print on the whatever you sign, just in case.
Well, like I had Kerry Bringle on the show 2 weeks ago. He had cooked Memphis and May 30 years and decided to become I forget what they call it, steering member, whatever the hell that means.
Yeah.
This new barbecue contest part of it. It's being put on by, the name of the group is Forward Momentum. They put on Memfo Fest. Don't know what that is. I think it's a music thing.
Say Nympho?
And Memfo, not Nympho.
Okay.
Memfo.
Jesus. Okay, that's a different one. I've been to that one.
Yeah.
Nothing.
fine.
Okay.
I heard you were the chairman.
Yes.
Yeah. Right.
Yes. Yes.
So,
John has a whole
Memfo
outfit.
Fest.
Yeah.
So they have festival experience behind them. From what Kerry said, these guys are elitely funded. So I asked Kerry, I was like, look, I'm as dumb as they come. But if you just saw what happened to Memphis in May 5 months ago, get stuck with that bill, why would you go into the same park and put on a barbecue contest knowing what you know? And he said, those were the first questions I asked. They said, we're ready to step up and handle it. Look, to me, I'm not a conspiracy theorist. It just reeks to me that Memphis River Parks and Memphis and May had enough of each other. And this was a way to make sure they were driven out, opens the park up. Oh, by the way, we just happen to have this thing boiling in the back. And now we can bring it to the forefront since the park is open during what would normally be Memphis in May, we can stick this new thing right in it, and it just seems like it's a perfect fit. And through all my discussions with folks that really know what's going on, this isn't something that you just get a hair up your ass and decide you're going to put on a huge music festival and barbecue competition.
Right.
This has to have had some type of planning, probably a long-term planning. It's a for-profit company. It's not a not-for-profit like Memphis in May. So to me, I think this is something that has been in the works for a while. The situation has presented itself. My guy, John Solberg in Michigan, said, this isn't like you just come in and fill in a vacuum. These things don't happen. These are big-time events. So you just don't decide you're going to do it. This is something that requires some planning, some thinking, because it's going to be a big deal. And the bottom line right now is nobody really knows how the barbecue contest is going to operate. Nobody knows, aside from Peg Leg Porker, who else is going to be there. I mean, if you guys are a competition team, I have no interest in competing, but where would you want to go? Like Memphis in May is a world championship.
Right.
Heath Riles and Malcolm Reed both said on my show Tuesday, they want to go compete with the big dogs. And I put all kinds of weird scenarios onto them, like if you didn't have to pay at all to go in and get a spot. I mean, some of those spots at Memphis in May are $40,000, $50,000 after you get done building it out, for that weekend or the week or whatever it is. I said, how about none of that cost? Plus, I'll give you $2,000 to show up. And if you win, you can keep that money too. They couldn't say no fast enough.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
Right.
no. If we're going to get our butts whooped, we want it to be by the best.
Yeah. So I think level of competition is going to play a big part. And we just have to keep our finger on the pulse of is or if or when is there going to be one of those elite teams that decides that they are also going to jump. That could cause a little bit of a domino. But until we really know how the competition is going to run, it would be tough to say you want to jump. And then, of course, you want to know what the payout is. Memphis in May is paying $150,000
That's not
total
bad.
prize purse in 2024, which is huge.
Yeah.
No, I think you're exactly right. I think money talks. I think it takes one team. It takes one big team to move to, you know what I mean? And it's like, hey, we're going to cook this. And I guarantee the first time it happens, you're not going to see a big movement, right? You're like, okay, great, you're in. But all it takes people winning money brings people in, and then boom, it's a snowball. It's a snowball, and I think at that point that becomes the new norm, and people want to gravitate towards like who's doing something, right? And yeah,
Right.
I
If,
don't know.
if enough big names go over there, then yeah, maybe there's a snowball. But that's still, I mean, Memphis in May is Memphis in May. You know what I mean? It's
Sure,
crazy.
It is until they just
Right.
take it.
Is it something akin to, again, I have no affiliate with any type of like union or something like that. It very well sounds just like waiting for somebody to make the first move before we jump across the lines and go over to this
Scab
very
bastards,
scabby like.
you scab fucking
Do I
bastards.
go,
It does
do I
feel a little bit
stay
like
or
that.
go or do
Hey.
whatever? I'm
Right.
like,
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
Teamsters.
It's like barbecue drama. I love it. And I heard the Memphis in May, what is it? The president is going to be retiring.
Yeah, the CEO, Jim
CEO.
Holt,
Yeah.
just
So
announced
how
that
does
he
that?
would be retiring like at the end of February, I think.
Okay. Yeah. Does that come into play in any way? Is that going to have any kind of effect on anything, or it doesn't really matter?
Well, it creates instability, right?
Oh,
So, and that's the thing. It's like, who's taking over? Who can walk in and say, look, we're stable. We got this. Like, we're bigger than ever. And you know what? We're coming. You know what I mean? That's momentum that you need to have versus because if you don't, it will. This will become the new Memphis in May, and maybe that's what they want. I'm who knows?
I have a question.
In a letter from James Holt that was sent out to the teams, it says Memphis in May has a solid path going forward. The organization is financially sound. despite conjectures you may have seen in news reports and on social media, there's no correlation between my retirement announcement and the disclosure of the planned Upstart barbecue contest.
Yeah.
However, the timing seems very odd.
Hey,
Right,
anytime
right?
I ever hear somebody telling me this is not what it means, I always go, "This is exactly what it means." You know what I mean? It's that
People
don't
say it's
look
not
here.
about the money.
Yeah,
It's about one thing.
it's
about
about the money. You know what I
Right.
mean? Hey, who doesn't like money? Something wrong with you. That's all I'm saying.
Right.
Jesus.
Here's my question. This is probably a stupid question, but I'm gonna put it out there.
No stupid questions.
Who decides which ones of these are the world championships and which ones are just another cook-off? How did that happen?
Well, it's a longevity, man. It's
Tradition.
the
Whatever one's been
tradition.
around the
Yeah,
longest, and
exactly.
they decide to, hey, I'm going to call myself a world championship.
No, man. Like,
Well, you win Memphis in May.
it's
There
gross.
are other things that come along with it.
Yeah.
So you win the title.
Mhm.
So there's a bunch of prestige that goes along with that. Whatever the cash dollars is there. I mean, you're in competition barbecue. You're not in it to make. I mean, you're in it to make money, but you're hardly stacking hundreds, right?
Yeah.
You get also a auto invite to the Jack, which you will not get with that Upstart barbecue contest. And I believe you get an invite to the Royal.
Well, you also get an invite to Houston.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. I meant Houston. That's right.
Yeah.
So, Houston to a lot of folks is, so depending on who you talk to, a lot of people want to get into Houston more than anything else because you just can't stroll in to the
Right.
Houston Livestock and Rodeo.
It's tough.
Those spots are bequeathed down at death to other folks.
Exactly.
Or you're like an elite pit master and you're hired in as a ringer to a team that's not your own, but you're cooking for that corporately
Right.
sponsored team. Or you win this Memphis in May and you can go down that way. So some people want to win Memphis in May so they can go to Houston. The Memphis was a stepping stone thing. So
Yeah. And for the folks that are listening along, just get your beers ready because we have a thing where we talk about wherever I say, hey, I used to volunteer for the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo and the
man.
barbecue competition. So
Okay.
go ahead and grab your beer right now and just take a chug. But I do work the barbecue
No, you-
portion
It's
Jesus
fine.
Christ.
You don't have to
of
bring it up.
the
Just stop.
Houston Livestock
You're a
Show and
volunteer?
Rodeo.
Are you a
Yes.
volunteer, James?
I'm a volunteer.
Okay, great. Good.
Great.
Hey, that's just James's little snippet that he has to put out there. James puts out in the community. He is a
He gives back.
he's a volunteer.
I give back to the
He-
kids.
Yeah, he
No,
puts out for
He
sure.
puts out.
Yes.
That's all I'm saying.
To the
Okay.
community.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
where in Texas are you?
We're in Houston.
so we're
yeah.
right outside of Houston. Yeah.
Pearland. Yep.
Yeah. It's our backyard.
Come visit. Come hang out.
Come on, man.
Yeah, I get down there a couple times a year.
Bro, hit us up.
Yeah.
We could do this in person. We got an empty chair right now. Matt didn't even show up.
Even better.
Yeah.
Right?
I'll take Matt's place.
That's it. You're in. Sorry, Matt.
Can
Let's
we
touch.
Can we talk a little bit about the? So you are you still residing in Cleveland, Ohio?
Yeah.
Is that the skyline? Okay.
The
Yeah.
majestic skyline.
I
I'm
was gonna
sitting
say,
right
yeah.
in front of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
So
There
can
it
we
is.
There it
talk a
is.
little bit about well, I mean, you've been to Texas, you've been to this area, just the food scene from our area, your area, and just all around. Just get your thoughts on. Have you experienced that Central Texas barbecue? Going into some of those iconic Texas barbecue restaurants. Have you tried some of those, or even just try some of the Tex-Mex or something along the lines of that? And then up there in your area, what is the
It's a
what-
two-parter.
what is the
Barbecue scene like?
what is the barbecue? What is the food scene like?
In Ohio?
Mhm.
Why'd you say it like that,
They had
bro?
a derailment over there. They had a plume of almost like a toxic waste thing going on. I'm not sure.
I was a little overblown.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Anyways,
James, go ahead.
Is it still on the map?
No, it's gone.
anyways, what do you
Just
think of Texas
Burned up.
barbecue?
So I've been to. Pardon me. I've been to Truth Barbecue 3 separate times,
I like truth.
and wow, it's magical.
Mm-hmm.
I've been where I've been able to get everything. The first time I went, I got there like at 11 o'clock, and I waited an hour and a half, and I was about right at the end of saying, fuck this, I'm out of here. But stuck with it and was blown away by the quality. And I've had Leonard on my show, so I felt obligated to go and try it, stick it out. But after I left, I said, well, there's no way I'm going to ever wait an hour and a half again. So try to figure out, like, what's the way to attack it? What appears Wednesday around 1 o'clock in the afternoon, almost no line. Now, you might be sacrificing, and the time after that, I went like even later, like 2:30. My flight didn't get in until later. And there was no line. They got in. Now you're sacrificing maybe some of the popular, not popular stuff. So they always going to have brisket because everybody's coming for the brisket, and they always have turkey. So no problem. I got ribs once, didn't get ribs the next time. The banana pudding, I could easily eat 5 gallons in a sitting, and I could probably eat more after that. It's tremendous.
Yeah.
And then I don't see, now this is where I don't know. I don't know. I asked my guy, official sound guy at BBQ Central Show, Haniel Tristna, who's just outside of Houston, where we should go for some other stuff, not barbecue. And he said, for the best fajitas, go to Lupe Tortilla. It will change your life. I don't know, like, if that's a laugh at that thing or not. We went, and I fell in love. That beef fajita, skirt steak, holy shit, it was unbelievable. So we go there every time we come in now.
Now you got listen.
Lupe's
Better
is
ones,
good.
I'm sure, but
Yeah, Lupe's is
this
good.
is where I've been.
So you first of all, if you're gonna have Tex-Mex, you definitely need to next time just call us. We got a spot, right? And it's not the way you order it; it's the way
It's the way you order it.
it's the way you finish it, right? And there's certain things you have to do to your fajitas in order to make it the way it's fixing to be, right? But yeah, Lupe's good. Lupe Tortillas
I like
is
Lupe's.
it's a great place. I love the tortillas. They're thin. They're huge.
They have big ass tortillas,
Like,
right?
I don't feel like you can fill them big enough or whatever else. The meat is good. Is it overpriced? Yeah, it's definitely overpriced. And I think there are places that you can get the same, if not better, quality.
For less.
Wait, yeah, trust me, yes, 100%.
Wow.
Yeah, and yeah, I mean, we've got some places that will blow your mind, and you're like, how the hell is this even possible? You know what I mean?
Oh, I'm jazzed up now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
I see a road trip in our future.
yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
But barbecue, I mean, Truth Barbecue is good. We've got Pinkertons.
Yeah.
Here in town, Pinkertons is really good.
Killins is right down the street.
Killins
Yeah.
and Pearland. Killins
Killins,
Barbecue
yeah.
is no joke.
I went to
And-
Killen's Steakhouse
Uh,
in Pearland.
So
What'd you think?
yeah, so that's kind of what I said, right? I had the same look on my face. But the barbecue restaurant is so they have really, really good pit masters working there. And I'm not gonna lie to you, man. They put out some really good sauces, some really good barbecue, and it's no joke. I mean, like these guys are in it to win it, and it's phenomenal.
Mhm.
So I think and honestly, there's a line on Saturday morning, there's a line going out the door all the way down the freaking street.
Wow.
Right. So it's not like you just come like you're not gonna be able to go in there every single day and get what you want.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's one of those places. But Killen's Barbecue is really good. Obviously in town, there's there's another one that I'm forgetting right now. Not
Brothers.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, really good. Really good.
There's the Tejas chocolate and
Tejas,
barbecue.
Yeah. And then we just did the podcast over at Henderson and Kane.
That's a
And
little hole in the wall joint that they make some good food.
Henderson Kane, and I'm not sure if like I feel like he made a comment that as far as him and Franklin's barbecue, did you catch a comment that he made?
Was it Franklin's?
Yeah,
Somebody he was trained with one of those guys,
yeah.
right?
So, but I'm just saying, like it was in its infancy stages. It wasn't like last year or anything like this.
Right.
But this guy is opening restaurants in New York. He's opening restaurants in California. Henderson and Kane is phenomenal. Oh my God. Some of the best sausage brisket I've had in I don't know how long at a restaurant right there.
That's
And
in Houston, like where
it's in Houston.
geographically?
It's
It's
in
like
the
in the Heights area.
It's in the
Yeah.
6th ward.
Yeah.
that,
Over by Truth.
Mhm.
Heights.
Yeah. And it's in a building that was been serving the community since 19
Forever.
08,
Yeah.
09 or whatever it is.
Mhm.
But it's been something to the community. It's been a meat what would you call that?
A meat market.
Yeah, meat market, but it's been a general store. It's been something that's been serving that one community for
Yeah.
shit.
It's pretty cool because it just
Over
sits
100 years.
smack dab right into a neighborhood.
Yeah.
It's a corner store.
Yeah.
You give
It's a general store.
great grandparents coming in and going, I came here as a kid. We used to buy meat right here. This is our
Right.
place,
You
right?
came to get milk.
So they have done it right, and they're a phenomenal facility. And I think what makes them so special is because they know the culture and the history, and they keep it up. You know what I mean? The food, the best. A 75-year-old sausage factory here in Houston closed down. The guy that for the last 30 years who was in charge of that is now making their sausage. You know what I mean? It's that history they bring back to it. They locally source every single thing in the store, so much so that it's like to their own detriment. Like they could do it so much cheaper and make money. They just choose not to do it. You know what I mean? And it's one of those things like once you see what they're doing,
It almost feels like you're in a farmer's market in their store.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's
pretty cool.
It's respect, man. I mean, Henderson and Kane, look them up. They're phenomenal. Phenomenal.
Next time you're in town, seriously, hit
Yeah.
us up
I'll
and
let you
we'll
know.
do something.
I think early April. Plan to be down for a quick trip.
Let's go.
Let's do it.
Yeah,
Let's
hook
do
us
it.
up.
Let's make this happen.
As far as Cleveland is concerned, not a huge barbecue scene. There's maybe 3 locations that I would feel comfortable recommending if you were coming through. So you have Mabel's Barbecue, which is Michael Simon's restaurant, the guy from Food Network.
Yeah.
Right on East 4th Street, which is a real popular street, bunch of restaurants, bars, whatnot. Really good. I think I've been there more than a dozen times. Every time it's been high quality, really good stuff. He uses JR Oilers in the restaurant there, so he's not using any bullshit. There's a place over in Lakewood, which is West Side, called Proper Pig. They do so they're a little hit and miss at this point. When they first got going, they were probably as good as Mabel's was, and then a little bit further to the near West Side in Parma, which is the biggest suburb of Cleveland, is a place called BBQ Smokehouse, and this is like the most Texas of Cleveland. So he's open Thursday, Friday, Saturday. He opens for lunch, and then he closes when he sells out. He routinely sells out. And it's a very simple menu. It's brisket, pulled pork, it's ribs, it's chicken. He's got a chili. He's got this great high-end mac and cheese. He was a fine dining chef at training and then fell in love with barbecue and has been able to chef up some of the sides. His collard greens are blow your head off good. And so BBQ Smokehouse is number 1, Mabel's number 2 or 1B, and then Proper Pig over on the west side. Everything else, they might come and they're good, but then they go out of business or they try and get too cute and don't keep the menu tight. You get too expansive out here and you run normal operating hours, you got to figure out a way to ride those lulls. And that'll kill you. And a lot of places out here do like a cook a couple times a week. And so they're on the reheats on the odd days. And,
Yeah.
you know, that's not good. I've been to plenty of places before getting the beef rib and it's cool in the middle.
Yeah.
That's not good. You don't want that.
Yeah. It was cooked yesterday.
Yeah.
That's what it means, right? I mean,
Yeah,
you're
certainly
just
wasn't today.
reheating. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're just reheating.
It's recent.
Yeah, so I'll go back to Killen's Barbecue really quick because Ronnie Killen was a guy that came in second for cooking for the president of the United States, and the guy that won it actually asked him to stay on, and he said, "No, I'm not going to do that." And I'm not sure if he went back to France at that point and went through the entire cuisine at that time, and then came back to Texas and opened the steakhouse.
I
Now,
think he was already finished with that
what
school.
what was he? So the cordon bleu and everything else, right? So, but so he did that first, came in second, came to Texas, which is back in his roots. Now, I will say, I'm not sure when you came to the steakhouse, and I actually went to the steakhouse a few years ago, and I go there regularly now, and we'll have appetizer and hors d'oeuvres and hang out and whatever else. But I was not a big fan of the steak that I had. I was kind of let down. I was like, damn, dude, I feel like we really paid a lot of money for what we just ate, and it was not the greatest.
Yep.
But I will say that's not his steakhouse anymore. I think there was a divorce there, right? I think
Well, he's blown up at this point. He's got like
I was there in March.
so the wife already has the steakhouse, and she's had it for a few years now, and that's hers. Like, I think that's hers, right?
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that I think there was a split there somewhere else, and I'm not saying anything negative against her or anything else.
Sounds like you might be.
I
though.
just want to say that he is very particular of how food comes out of his kitchen, and he is a general, like, in the kitchen. He's not the guy that sits back and says, "Oh well, oh golly gee shucks." This dude is a general, and if it's not right, it doesn't go out.
Hmm.
The flavor is on point, and the guy is a phenomenal chef. So there was a big hype of his restaurant when he ran, and he ran that restaurant like a fucking general, right?
Right.
And that's why the hype happened, right? So now it's a name, and it's his name, and they've split. So there's other places that you can go to, and all of a sudden you walk in and you're getting that same quality. That's him running it. So I just wanted to just throw it out there a little bit, because the dude is a really good chef. So
Yeah, you know what? When we were there, he was Houston Livestock was going on, so he was in the parking lot, and
He did well too because he made it up on
He
the
did.
stage.
yeah. But I had reached out to him, told him we were going to be in town, and see if I could meet him in person. He said, I'm going to be tied up with that Houston Livestock deal. But
Yeah.
I was like you, like we went in, appetizer was good. I don't drink anymore, but my wife's cocktail, she said, was really great. And then the steaks came out, and they were as average as it gets. And so that causes a little disappointment considering the price wasn't average.
Mhm.
So
It's true.
that's quickly. I mean, look, as an operator, it sucks for you because my desire to show up again has become lessened by a large degree because there are a multitude of other options that where we were staying are closer. And why would I not give somebody else one shot instead of going back to the same place that was average? So
Sure.
if I got back out there again, would I give it a shot? Sure. But I forget the name of the place I was at. Cripes. Is it George and something or others? It's two names. High end steak place. And
Not Ruth Chris.
no.
Vic and Anthony's? No.
Nope.
Perry Sons?
Perry's?
G? I think there's a G.
Hmm.
Like George or George's or some shit.
I don't know.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I mean, I took a customer out. I happen to have a customer that's based out of Houston. And so I got to spend some time with him in person. We went to this restaurant between the two of us. Nothing outlandish, mind you. I mean, he had a couple cocktails, none for me. We had the bone marrow for appetizer. I got a Denver cut steak or whatever the hell they call it. He got something else. We got the bread or the banana pudding desserts. Holy shit! It was $400 between the two of us. So I turned it in. My boss and I told my boss, like, "Oh yeah, we went to whatever." He's like, "Yeah, I saw that." I was like, "Too much?" He's like, "Just the two of you?"
No, there was 8 of us.
Yeah,
It was good.
Brought his family. He has 12
Like, I
kids.
don't know what to tell you. I'm like, this is what it was. He's like, okay, well, maybe another place next time. So
Georgia
Yeah.
James.
George and James.
Georgia James.
Georgia James, that's what it is.
Huh? Eh, Raul? Hey,
Roll.
hey, he's on. it.
Roll.
Huh? This is
Who's
our
on it?
Jamie.
Greg, that's why they pay me the big bucks.
I was gonna say, I take everything I said back before.
Come on. Hey, come on, bro.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, it
Let's
was.
go.
It's good, but whew,
Yeah.
that was a lot. But
Our pill to swallow. Yeah.
but the,
Damn.
but the steak was great, and the bread is served with a bowl of bone marrow with a candle in it to keep the bone marrow melted. You know,
Sounds
not
amazing.
like the food trend of butter candle earlier in the year. This was-
Yeah. Right.
Yeah,
I told my cousin, I was like, just pick that candle right the fuck out of there and let that harden up, so that way we can get a knife and slather it on like a bunch of heathens.
Right. I'm tired of dipping. All right.
Yeah. Let's stop being classy.
Let's put a straw in the candle. Okay.
That's funny.
Hmm.
That's hilarious.
Okay.
All right.
Well-
Hey, Greg,
Yes.
dude, you have no idea, man. Like, we appreciate the fact that
The OG, the legend.
You even
huh?
said yes. I mean,
Haha, gotcha.
yeah, I know,
I'm just a
right?
guy. I'm just
Yeah.
a man.
No,
you know?
I know you say
I'm
that,
nobody.
but come on.
Yeah, I mean, come on. I
Come on.
got I have a little show, and I like doing it,
Yeah.
and I don't. I operate almost like you guys. I speak into this microphone every Tuesday. I don't know if anybody's listening.
Yeah.
And the only time it gets really weird for me is when I have somebody in the studio, because then there's a human next to me. Usually it's just me. So
Yeah.
I don't have to worry about it. I can say nonsense, and I don't have to worry about if anybody's laughing or not if I'm trying to be funny. I just assume it's hilarious.
It-
Oh,
My
it is,
mind allows
by the
me
way.
to think like that.
Yeah.
And one time I was in Houston in 2018 for the NBBQA conference, and I did 3 days of live shows from there, 3 hours a day for 3 days. And it was like the 3 most uncomfortable days of my life. I blocked them from memory. And I'm halfway through the first day, and I'm like, why does it feel so different? And then I realized, well, I'm sitting across from human beings for 3 hours a day. Like, I don't have to do that. So outside of that, it's just I come down and I'm like, wow, here we go again. And going into the 16th year, I'm ecstatic that the industry has grown the way it has, that there are more barbecue podcasts helping cover the whole spectrum of the industry. You know, everybody doesn't have to be the same. We all have things that we can pick up on and try to exploit. So I'm just happy that people don't ask me to be a guest a lot, probably because I suck at being a guest. But
No,
nevertheless,
Yeah.
those
I
that
think
make
you're
the
phenomenal.
mistake of asking, I'm always going to say yes. And outside of that, I'm open, man. You want advice? You want my 2 cents? Anything? I'm happy to give it, and only in the most helpful ways. I'm here to serve.
There it is.
Yeah, we appreciate
Yeah.
you, brother.
Yeah.
No, I mean, listen. I mean, we're all big fans. So, yeah. Again, just having you on, just having you be a part of our show, and honestly, I think John made a comment earlier and was like, "I'm not sure who's interviewing who here because
This guy's a professional.
he's really good." I said, "All right, let's go." So no, it's much appreciated, and yeah, man. I mean, honestly, man, it's
Won't be the last time.
no, hopefully no, but it's pretty fucking badass. So
Yeah,
thank you.
I'm open. You know, I'm
Thank you.
here. I'm here to give hot takes and lend insight where I can. I know a lot of people, so however I can help you, let's do it.
Awesome. Hey,
go.
appreciate
I
you,
love
brother.
it.
You got
Looking forward to Greg 2.0. Let's do it again.
Yep. Thanks, sir. Greg Rempe, this
Yeah.
dude is a legend. He's been doing it for, like you said, like since he was in junior high. So
100%, man. I mean, cool dude to have on, and I mean, honestly, such a huge name, right? And
Oh, yeah.
and the guy that's kind of like in our field,
Mhm.
yeah. I mean,
Mhm.
he's the dude who's been out there setting the standard, and people are following in, right? So, yeah, it was kind of cool.
Yeah, I have to say, if you're listening to us, you need to jump over there to the BBQ Central show and listen to them too as well, because I love the insight, I love the guests, I love the information that he puts out every single week. It's super informative for anybody that's out there doing competition barbecue or just backyard grilling or just in the barbecue scene whatsoever. It's a nice, informative, super just funny show to check out.
Yeah,
with some
yeah.
badass sound effects.
Correct.
It is. Yeah. I was
love
I was kind of hoping that he would put some of those
I
out.
was waiting for him to click a button.
He didn't. He kept it very clean, PG, and I was like, damn, dude. Like, and I almost said something like, dude, where are the sound effects at? Wah, wah, wah.
Yeah, something,
You know, something.
He's probably holding back just a little bit. Well,
No.
Hey,
it's a first date.
Yeah.
We're
Recording.
First
Hey,
date.
We're
recording
waiting,
each
we're waiting
other.
for the second
Recording.
right?
You know,
Can't go.
hey, Roll, do you have a sound effect real quick? Can we get a sound effect? Do you have anything? Bow.
There
Yeah.
it is.
See,
Yeah, like that.
listen, we got our own sound effects over here. I'm just saying, like, damn it, dude.
I need to make up some signals like
Yeah.
baseballs,
Like,
so he knows
John's
which,
a bitch.
which sound
Hey,
effect to
do-
play.
Hey, you got one of John's a bitch?
He doesn't. That
Is
doesn't
that one?
exist. Yeah, he doesn't.
Is that
have
one of those?
Yeah.
No, I got Jan.
Give me
Yeah,
John.
yeah.
John's a bitch. Okay.
Anyways,
Cool little episode, fun episode. Definitely appreciate everybody that tuned in to check out the show.
No, 100%. And real quick, I know we didn't get into our barbecue wins and barbecue fails, but I
ran
want
a
you
little bit long.
We did, but we had good content, and I think it's warranted. But I want you to bring in your barbecue wins, your barbecue fails, because we're all learning from them, and we're all learning what not to do, and we're also learning what to do, like what worked for you, seasonings, methods, anything out there, whatever else. When you call in, you get on the show, you're going to win some Sucklebusters seasonings, and I obviously I think it's
Going to be in the running for the end of the year giveaway.
That's it. That's right. So I think
What's that number?
it's 94767. Nope. 4299 17 24 37.
If I could.
Yep.
It's 434-829-2299.
One more time.
434-829-2299, or send us an email, info@grabthebrisket.com, or hit us on any of the social medias, and we would love to hear it. We love to hear your wins and your fails, or if you got a recipe you want to share, whatever it is, we want to hear from you. We just want the feedback, y'all.
We did not get into our boy, Frank Cox, with smokeabuilder.com. And
That played a little bit earlier.
no,
actually.
I know it
Okay.
did. I just we didn't get into really talking about anything
Yeah,
else.
no, our guest was ready to go.
I know, but at the end of the day, guys, our girls, if you're a girl listening to this show and you want to get your guy a present or anything,
yourself a present.
smokerbuilder.com, go check it out, because what you're fixing to get is one of the best damn barbecue barrel pits in the world. Not to mention all the other plans that he has out there. You can build your own. He can help you build it. He's a wealth of knowledge. At the end of the day, like, I feel like you're missing out if you're not going there and checking it out, because for me, and the amount of things that he's come up with and the amount of things he's able to engineer and do, it's phenomenal. So we've talked about plenty of times as far as like the quality, the fact that it's able to, I don't know, withstand opening the lid for minutes and not have these raging fires out of control, and the baffles and the way they're actually put together. This is the reason why you choose a company or a product. This is why you do it. He's the one. This is who you put your stock in. This is who you do. So check him out.
He hits all the
he
things.
does.
Great
He does.
customer service, great product, and a great discount if you use Grab the Brisket. It's all caps, or you can just hit the link down below, and I'll take you right there and get the discount already. Whatever you put in your cart. So
Yeah.
check it out.
Just check them out. Seriously.
Check them out.
You will not go, I made a mistake.
no.
This was a
If you have
whatever.
questions about it,
This-
reach out to us too.
It's
We'll
not about
go over
sales.
with you.
This is not about whatever else. This is about this is quality.
Yeah, this is what we're using. So
Yeah.
try it. Yeah. Anyways, James,
Yeah.
you were fixing to say something?
No, I was fixing to say something about 20 minutes ago, but
Yeah, well, you're done,
We finally
so.
got to it now. So, guys, hey, gals, honestly, it's been great talking barbecue with you.
Peace.
Let's go.
Smoke on. As we close out, big thanks to SmokerBuilder.com and the NBBQA for their unwavering support.
Absolutely. And cheers to Barbecue News Magazine, Sucklebusters, and Dalstrong Knives for their contributions.
And you know YETI always has our back, and CoolieNation ensures our drinks stay perfectly cold.
Lastly, props to Cambro Manufacturing and, of course, the Spicy Nut, the Chicks of Smoke Seasoning. Thanks to all for powering this show.
Until next time, keep smoking.